Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at the Takara Japanese 1988 exclusive. This is Ginrai. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a brief history but not go into too much detail, and I'm going to let you know as well now that I'm going to do a complete comparison video between Super Ginrai and indeed your Powermaster Optimus Prime figures, because although the molds are basically the same, there is a lot of differences in the figures, right down to the fact that this guy has a die-cast cab and translucent windows. So very quickly, just a brief bit of history. This is Ginrai, which is from the Japanese continuity. He was in the Super God Master Force cartoon, which I do strongly recommend you watching, because then it all makes a lot more sense. And he's got chrome on the back, whereas your standard high Q, the color scheme from the front, you wouldn't know there was any different. It's just when you spin it round. So as I say, there's quite a few subtle differences as well. I've also got God Ginrai at the side and God Bomber as well, who I could bring in a bit later, just to show you, I suppose, some other things and how they all combine and how they look very, very good, in all honesty. So what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to move these out of the way, just because I think that they're trying to take away some of the focus. Right, so let's first and foremost look at the packaging. Now, to be honest, this, I'm lucky enough to have the packaging, but I'm being honest, as you can see, this one is a bit beaten up. So it does come packaged very similar to what we know Powermaster Optimus Prime does. However, he comes with a polystyrene insert. I've said that now, I think the other one does as well. On the inside there, we've got the transformation process. We've got 3 modes, because of course he does make a base as well. There it says Master Force Super Ginrai at the side, because again, long story short, this is just a Trans-Tector. Ginrai goes in the front. The Trans-Tector enables him to transform into Ginrai, and then when he combines with his trailer, he becomes Super Ginrai, which can get very, very confusing. I admit that the Hasbro, the Western Sunbow continuity was much easier to understand. Right, you can see here though that again we've got a different color scheme, and funnily enough, it looks like they might have used Hasbro pictures there, because the windows are translucent, which I'm going to show you in a second. On the back, you've got what would have been known as the sort of Pretenders battle scene from 1988. But again, if you've watched Master Force, these are pretty much all the main characters, and the Pretenders played a huge role in the actual cartoon series. So there is his tech spec as well, and that's pretty much all there is to show you with the box. I will very quickly just bring this guy up just so you can see that obviously, first and foremost, as I said, I'm going to do a much more detailed video, but first and foremost, it's really obvious that these guns are silver, whereas they are grey, and a lot of the parts on this, where they were sort of like a beigey colour, beigey grey, were silver on here. This very quickly is the front of that cab. This is the front of that cab. A huge difference there, but as I say, I'll do a much more detailed video on the comparisons for you guys a bit later on. Right, so this is your Trans-Tector, which is the main cab, and I know it's confusing because it is Optimus Prime, but it's not. It's the Trans-Tector. Again, chrome all around here. Again, my copy isn't the greatest, in honesty. This part is die cast, so again, if you're after one of these, you do need to know that it's die cast, and obviously it can chip, and just the same as the chrome can fade as well. What else is there to say on this? Of course, I think that's about it, to be fair. There's the translucent windows, but this feels really heavy, so sometimes it might be a bit more difficult to get him to stand. The accessories that he comes with are the same as Powermaster Optimus Prime. 2 huge guns there, or double blasters, these as well. So of course he can wield these if he wants to, because he's got the space, the 5mm port in his hand, so he can wield them no problem whatsoever. But of course, if we're being honest, he shouldn't be in this mode unless he is clipped into the back, which is in there. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to quickly take him back to his cab mode. We can have a little bit more of a detailed look at him that way, and of course we can see the cab mode. And then what I'll probably do, because I'm a bit too scared to do it on camera, I'll get him into his base mode. We'll come back, have a look at him in his base mode, see things like this, where I've got to confess, I've just had them on display for ages. So yeah, you perhaps did need the engine in there, because it worked the same as a Powermaster engine, the fact that you needed it to be able to transform. Everything It's just, I don't like transforming my old vintage ones. I think you can appreciate why. Luckily enough, it doesn't have the end of the trailer bit snapped off in it, which I think of course is very important. That's something to be aware of no matter which version you get, to be honest. If you're looking to get one for yourself, you want to make sure that that tab, which again you can see is looking precariously worn, is not snapped into there. So for obvious reasons, and please forgive me guys, I'm not going to be attaching it. I'm going to be pretending that I have attached it there. So again, this is silver now, not beige, and there's no other difference with regards to this apart from colors. You can then of course, as you know, you can attach these weapons to the side like so. You'll also, yeah, okay, that's a big difference there. Sorry, he's got slide out fists instead of just built-in ones when he's in his Super Ginrai mode. These can attach here, and then the only other part that you've not seen is the head, which in all honesty I think might be a slightly darker blue. I don't know if it's just because one of them is older than the others, I'm not too sure, but that is your cab and trailer mode. So yeah, that's all there is to show you about this. We're going to come back, he's going to be in his base mode. Okay, so this is partially the base mode. I need to do two quick apologies. The first obviously was not for transforming him on camera. Main reason, exactly what's happened. I was too petrified to do it and I didn't want to slow the video down. And what's happened is this part here is so seized. It's making evil, scary sounds that I just really don't want to do it. So what I might do is just roll the video, transform him into Super Ginrai, and you can see, I suppose, just how tight he is. But this base mode, if you want to see this properly laid out flat, please do check out the Powermaster Optimus Prime video. Anybody who watches this channel hopefully would know that I would do my absolute best to get this in the correct mode. I'm just too scared that I'm going to break it, and I know it's quite a common Japanese figure, but all the same, I don't want to break it. Now I'm quite lucky with this, to be fair. Even though the exterior is quite worn, the stickers on here are pretty good, which you can see there. Now what I really loved about this is the fact that it was a play set, and I think it was massively underutilized in the Hasbro continuity. So obviously we had our Godmaster engines or Powermaster engines, depending on again which continuity you followed. You were able to pop these here, bend his legs out, and you could sit him like so. He would even fit into that little cutout there, so he could man these guns, which I think is brilliant, like so. And again, you can get the rest of them. So, you know, I suppose if we're talking Hasbro terminology, we're talking Joyride, Slapdash, etc. Whereas we're talking Ranger, and all the different ones, as I say, in this particular continuity. But you could use any one of the Godmaster engines, because you could even use the Decepticon ones if you wanted to. You could put your Buster and Hydra on here if you really wanted to. They could take over the base per se, and you could attach them on there. Now you can really see, I suppose, the difference in the color in this compared to this and the actual Hasbro variant. You'll also notice that, as I say, the fists do slot out. It's kind of basic, let's be honest. It is just his legs and all folded out. However, with the Master Force figures, with how the Japanese continuity really went, you know, I suppose really headstrong into bases with regards to their figures, it's a good sort of starting point, shall we say. I think I'm going to risk it, guys, because if he's going to break, he might as well break on camera. I'm going to get him into Super Ginrai mode. So this is where you'd fold this up. This is just the legs, which you'd fold over. This would fold into here. Let me just move the arm out of the way, and then it would be a case of straightening this leg up on this hinge. Now this is, I mean, I've literally got quite a bit of force going in on this. Sometimes, oh my days. Right, once I get him, there we go, this is it. Once I get him in this mode, he is never going back into base. He's going to stay with this. I'm going to fold this over. This is the one that I couldn't move because it was just too tight. So it's, oh man, it's, there we go. Phew. He's gone into this mode, and as I say, please don't ask me to transform him again to get him into the base mode, because I'm just not going to do it. Right, so there we go. Let's slide the fists out. Let's take these off there because they don't. But again, it's quite a simple transformation, and I probably, to be fair, should have just used my Powermaster Optimus Prime molds, but I wanted to show you the differences. And you can see, look, he's got beautiful silver there, lovely chrome there, If we take the cab, I'm going to, again, just because I don't want it to get stuck, I'm going to press that into there so I can fold it over. That's another one of the main common problems with a lot of the Powermasters, Godmasters, that they did exactly that they didn't, what's the word I'm after? Oh, I forgot to put that around. That they got stuck and they damaged some of the main bodies, Trans-Tectors, if they are Japanese, of course. Right, let's just pop that there. This should now slot into place. Thank heavens it has. I'm now going to, and in fact I'm not going to attach Super Ginrai at all. Is that clipped in? I'm going to leave that there just for now. I'm going to lift the camera up ever so slightly and pop that there. Apologies if you're getting the reflection on the glare of the chrome. I do apologize for it, but it is nice to see some chrome on some figures. So here are the hands with all of these completely out. And of course, one of the main reasons why I'm doing this is because I'm super excited for the newer versions, the masterpiece version, shall we say, of these figures coming out very, very soon. So there he is. Articulation is minimal. We are talking arms going all the way around. It will go all the way around. There's no bicep flexion. The legs sort of do this. Very scary to get them to do anything else. Very quickly, there is your Hasbro one. So huge difference in colours. Yes, as I say, chrome on the smokestacks, chrome on the front is there the same, chrome on the hips, which isn't, white, I don't know if that's faded or whether it's supposed to be beige. I'll have a look at my much better copy in a second. But the best thing about the Japanese continuity at the time, since then, we now obviously know there's been a re-release of Apex Armor. This was God Bomber, or is God Bomber, and then you were able, oh, I've just knocked his wing off, to get the two together. And again, guys, I want to direct you to, in fact, I'll probably leave a link in the description to this guy, who is indeed one of the best figures ever made. Okay, he's another brick. He's another huge brick that you can't do too much with, but it is, of course, God Ginrai, because it is the combination of Super Ginrai with God Bomber. And as I say, when I do it, in fact, I probably should use the comparison with this one. It's much better. However, that's all I've got to say about Super Ginrai. Hopefully it's given you a bit of an insight to him, and again, just how different he is compared to the Hasbro version. Full detail video, in fact, yeah, I'll do that straight after this. But in the meantime, this is Super Ginrai, and let me know if you are excited like me for the up and coming masterpiece version of these. In the meantime, guys, thanks for watching. Take care.